Hi folks, Dave Schmidt here. Hey, it's the morning of Sunday, September 8th, where I am here in Asia, and wanted to bring you just a little quick update. I want to say thank you to everybody that's been writing the emails, wondering how we're doing. Did our trip go well? It's been absolutely wonderful. You know, Charla and I, we posted on Facebook this picture that we were able to get a free upgrade to business class on our trip here to Asia on the airplane flight. So that was kind of nice when you have a long, multiple 14 to 16 hour flight that you can do that. So it was a little comfortable for us. And that was one of the little joys, I guess, that we were able to have on our trip here. Everything is going fine. Everything is good. But also, as some of the emails I've sent to you, as individuals, I've been saying we've been asked to go somewhat quiet. We have to be somewhat careful. Well, back in January, in the first week in January, I had mentioned that there was a shift and a change, and I said expect that there would be some aggression that was coming our way, and people would be sensing and experiencing it. That aggression has picked up. It's picked up in various forms. It's picked up in some of the attacks directly upon the ambassador. And when we arrived here, the next morning I went for a walk, and I noticed I was being observed and I was being followed. But we're safe. We're in great shape, so everything is good. But here's what I want to announce today. As the aggression is picking up, we also say that there's a limit to what is there. Now, this morning, the ambassador had an interview, and he placed it on Ron Van Dyke's YouTube page, and I will post that onto this newsletter, and that there is a point where the limit is enough is enough. A few weeks ago, Neil Keenan came out and directly attacked the ambassador, calling him a Pied Piper and calling him a fraud. And in return, the ambassador had come back with basically was a kind statement. And Neil Keenan, in his follow-up, took that, recorded off of my newsletter, and put that into his video. In that first attack, he had also threatened the ambassador. He said he was going to take him out. Now, you can take that for what that is, but for most people, that's a threat upon their life when you say you're going to take them out. Well, enough is enough. Because yesterday in a conversation I had with the ambassador, it says, when they attack the third time, and the attacks are deliberate, and they're misinformation, and they're filled with lies, and the facts are so bad, enough is enough. But you will notice something. Neil Keenan will fade away. Because what the family does is they don't always return aggression with aggression unless the aggression is life-threatening. But this was pretty minor in what he had done on this. But you know, when you're dealing with cabal people, you're dealing with a different thing. When they attempt to kill you through cyanide poisoning, when they attempt to kill you through knife attacks from multiple people, that's a different story, okay? But there is a point where the truth needs to be told, because see, if we don't respond with the truth, and that's all that you have, then you have a tendency to believe what is there. Now let me state this, folks. The ambassador has a background as a professional in security. Absolute top security, not small stuff, nation level security. He has the ability to pick up the phone and call almost the head of any security of any country, the top level person. He has the ability to be in contact with NSA anytime that he wants to. And Neil Keenan, when you put out that video and the letter that you had called the ambassador a Pied Piper, well, guess what? 4 days before you released that, he had already seen it, and he shared it with me verbally. We knew it was coming. We know what's going on. We have that ability. The ambassador shares that information with me. I don't do that security stuff. He just shares it with me. Okay? And when it's time, I get to be the person that gets to release some of that information. We are moving into an era. We are moving into a period of time for those that have been dishonest, for those that aren't telling the truth, for those that are leading people on, for those that are making money off of this and monetizing off this issue. It's time for you to clean up your act. You notice Neil Keenan put out the bunker, this video that he had gone into the bunker. Folks, no. That wasn't real gold. You see, real gold, it's extremely rare that it ever oxidizes. And when you saw it when he opened the box, it's filled with mold and oxidation. Secondly, we've had professionals do an analysis of it, and they said that's not real gold, it's copper. It doesn't even have the color of gold. And there's other things that we could go on. So, Neil, what happened was you went into a dummy bunker. Now, you're the one who says you know who the family is, and yet they led you to a dummy bunker. See, the family has deliberate dummy bunkers out there for people like you, to set people up, to make them think that they're doing the right thing, but actually what it does, they end up putting their own noose around their own neck by exposing themselves about the stupidity of what they're talking about and what they're saying. Enough is enough. You had to come out and try to be the person who was going to have everything right. You went into this bunker, had to tell the world to justify yourself, and Neil, you got set up. Then you came out with the video a couple of weeks later of your attempt to go into the bunkers the second time, and you couldn't get in, and they ripped you off from $20,000, and you haven't followed up from any of those. You've made no statements to try to correct the facts of what you had said. See, there comes a point in time where the truth needs to be told. And we don't like to come out with deliberate attacks, but for the sake of the people, they have the right to know. And if you notice, we don't return aggression with aggression as much as possible until lives are in danger. And there comes a point, if you threaten someone's life, then it's time to return. So everybody that is out there that is aggressing against the ambassador, attempting to find out who's the red dragon and the other Seedler family members, that you've been following Charla and I, you'll end up putting your own noose around your own neck. The family's very good at that. They let you do it to yourself. Now I want to speak to the guru blog writers. It's time for you to clean up your act. Those of you who for a year or two have been saying the RV's going to happen next week, tomorrow, the next day, the information is there. I've been very clear for months, there will be no RV, as you have reported. That is not going to happen. The simple question, you can't tell where the money's coming from. Not one of you try to explain it. You do try to explain it around the oil credits. But folks, I've stated this before. When gas, oil, was at $100 a barrel, there was only $20 trillion worth of oil in the ground in Iraq, and now it's half that price. So there's only $10 trillion in the ground that Iraq has in oil. And I know of one private exchange that's going to require $40 trillion, 4 times that amount. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous and insane to keep saying that without doing the simple math. And why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep leading the people on? Why do you keep taking advantage of them? You want to talk about a scam? That's a scam. Deliberately leading people on into false hopes, taking them down this hopium train, that they're going to hope that it's going to happen tomorrow because they're so desperately in need of money that they will believe anything. And in the process, there's a great destruction and a pain that is taking place, what I call on the etheric level and on the spiritual level. It's not nice. Can I say something very directly? Karma's a bitch. It really is. Now, karma's not all bad. Karma's not a bad word. There's good karma as well. It's a result of balancing out the energy from your actions that you do toward other people. All you guru writers that are misleading the people, we know who you are. The family knows who you are. They have access to your bank accounts. If you always want to know the truth about money, follow the money. Follow the money till you find it back to its direct source. We know where your money comes from. We know who is paying you. They have access to your bank accounts and when the deposits are made. And we know that, yes, one of you says, I don't receive anything of it. No, because the money goes in your wife's bank account. And you're misleading the people. All of you that are making money off of this, it's time to step up. I've been very honest up front that, yes, I do make a living off my workshops, but people choose to come to that because they want to. And the people who come, by the throngs, the throws, the 90 to 95% will say it's one of the best experiences they've ever had, and they don't regret it one bit. So you see, when you attack, It's only a reflection of your own anger, your own insecurity, and your own fear. That's all that it is. Aggression is only a projection of your own deep woundedness and pain. That's all that it is. But there comes a point in time for the responsibility that you have toward others that needs to be cleaned up and it needs to be corrected. There's something that's called repentance. There's something that's called forgiveness. There's something that's called saying, I made a mistake and I'm wrong. But if you continue down this road toward misleading people about this whole issue, expect the fact that sooner or later you will find a noose and you'll put it around your own neck and it'll choke you out and it basically will eliminate you. I'm not saying it's going to kill you. We're not here with a threat like that. But it will choke you to the point that it will wake you up and that you'll have to take some sort of action upon what you're doing and about what you're supposed to do for yourself. We're moving into a position now, things are going to start changing quite rapidly. The ambassador mentioned in the video with Ron Van Dyke, and he had shared with Charlotte and I yesterday, that possibly tomorrow we can expect some very, very big news. So stay tuned. Be aware. It's about time, and things are beginning to change. We're going to be here in Asia for at least another couple of weeks. We're anticipating a lot of good things coming. I will, as much as possible, always be able to share the videos and do the radio program. Last Wednesday, we had direct interference upon us. I couldn't even get on the internet, and it was an absolute direct cyber attack that was upon us. So I wasn't able to do the radio program last Wednesday. We will always do it as much as possible, except we expect the aggression to increase, to continue, but we just take it in stride because we know its source. We know where it comes from, and we know how to rise above that, and that's what we choose to do. All of you here, keep believing and having that faith. Faith is the ability to see beyond what is staring you in the face that seems to be so impossible, that seems to be so bad. When the world circumstances, your individual circumstances, and the things going on around you seem to be falling apart, faith lets you know that you can see beyond that and see beyond what's right here and look to the horizon for what is coming to you and to us. Stand with us in faith. Be praying for us. Be praying for our safety. Be praying that we would neutralize all the attacks that have come upon us and the aggression that comes our way, and that the people who attack would come to a point of waking up and understanding what they're doing. Thank you all. Love you very much. Okay, bye-bye.